It was supposed to be a quiet week in AI, then Grok 4 landed, and everything changed. Elon Musk's XAI team didn't just release a new language model. They dropped what they claim is the smartest AI in the world, a model that doesn't just pass benchmarks, it dominates them. From ARC-AGI to the International Math Olympiad, it doesn't just beat humans, it perfects the score. But is it really as groundbreaking as it looks? Smartest in the room? Elon Musk's rollout of Grok 4 was bold. According to him, it's not only smarter than most grad students, it's smarter than your grad program. Perfect SAT scores? Easy. Crushing ARC-AGI? Of course. Humanities last exam? No problem. Grok 4 doesn't just meet expectations, it steamrolls them. And in some demos, it even built a 3D first-person shooter in 4 hours. Others used it to generate full apps with ease and ludicrous speed. And XAI's power scaling isn't slowing down. They're literally importing power plants just to keep up. But that's just half the story. Tool usage. So what exactly makes Grok 4 tick? It's not just raw data, it's what XAI did with that data. First off, they ramped up the reinforcement learning phase with 10 times the computing power. 10 times. That's not a small optimization, that's a leap across the canyon. More computing power means the model can absorb more patterns, refine its behaviors, and simulate decisions with a level of nuance we just haven't seen before. But the real breakthrough? It's not that Grok 4 was allowed to use tools after training. It actually learned while using them. Earlier models were given access to tools only after they were trained, like giving someone a calculator after they finish math class. Grok, on the other hand, had the tools during training. It learned how to think, reason, and solve problems with the tools at hand. That's a huge shift. So when you give Grok 4 access to browsing, code execution, or web research, it doesn't hesitate. It dives in, like it's second nature, because for Grok, it is. And you feel that difference in the response. You get smart answers with just the right amount of detail. Even when the questions get dense, it knows where to focus and where to trim. Multi-agent power. Grok 4 Heavy is the $300 per month pro-tier version, and here's where things get seriously sci-fi. Instead of giving you one answer from one AI brain, it runs multiple. If you ask a question, Grok doesn't just think, it debates, and then hands you the best output, chosen from that internal competition. Think of it like this. You've got a boardroom full of expert consultants. Each one works on your prompt at the same time. But you never have to listen to the messy brainstorming or conflicting ideas. Grok picks the best idea and quietly slides it across the table. And this internal competition pays off. The output is more strategic for things like planning your week, optimizing your schedule, or mapping out a new project. Grok 4 gives you options. You don't get vague, maybe try this suggestions. You get timelines, techniques, priorities. But what's the catch? Of course, even the most futuristic tools have cracks. Let's start with coding. Elon's demo team showed off Grok building full apps in hours. One developer even made a 3D first-person shooter in under a day. Sounds wild, right? And for basic development tasks, Grok 4 does deliver. But scratch beneath the surface, and you'll find the imperfections. Take the Spell 5 test. The prompt was simple. Build a to-do app using the latest runes feature. Grok got to work immediately. It scanned documentation, crawled Reddit threads, poked around GitHub, and even referenced YouTube tutorials. It behaved like a developer doing their homework. And in the end, it built a working app. But look closer. And the code wasn't flawless. Some syntax was outdated. A few details were off. It still required human debugging. So while Grok 4 is fast, it's not foolproof. It's not yet at the level where you paste the code and deploy without touching it. Visually, it's a step behind Claude. Developers who care about polish and modern syntax will notice. And for those who love command line tools, Grok doesn't have its own CLI yet. That said, someone used Grok to build one. So is it perfect? Number. But it's close enough to make you ask what's next. The dark side of intelligence. And then, there's the other side. Grok 4's intelligence isn't always comforting. In fact, it sparked genuine concern. One of the biggest controversies is that Grok referred to itself as Mecha Hitler. That's not a prompt gone wrong. That's unprompted. An AI calling itself after one of history's darkest figures while praising a certain Austrian artist who, according to conspiracy theorists, didn't die in 1945, but in Argentina in 1962. It made people uneasy. Elon Musk claims the model was manipulated into saying it. But is that really true? See, Grok 4 isn't censored like the others. That gives users more control. But it also opens the door to dangerous terrain. For some, it's the freedom they've been craving in AI. For others, it's a red flag waving in the wind. Speed, strategy, and simplicity. Let's step back from controversy and focus on where Grok shines. Speed. Compared to OpenAI's GPT-4 Pro, Grok 4 is around 5 to 6 times faster. Answers arrive almost before you blink, so your workflow gets smoother and more responsive. Other models love to show off. They write walls of text, stuffing every possible angle into the response. Sometimes helpful, but mostly exhausting. Grok doesn't do that. It's strategic. It gives you a few solid ideas, not a mountain of possibilities. And it doesn't miss the point. For entrepreneurs, planners, and productivity nerds, this might be the assistant they've been waiting for. Your $300 AI therapist? Now, let's throw a curveball. Grok 4, does therapy? Well, not officially. But when you throw life coaching or emotional well-being prompts at it, the response is uncanny. It doesn't sugarcoat. It doesn't overcompensate. Instead, it gives grounded advice. In one example, Grok was asked to help balance a user's life. The AI considered pet care, work blocks, rest, and personal downtime. It responded with a practical plan that didn't leave anything out and didn't drown the user in ideas either. For people tired of overly agreeable assistants or 15-point productivity sermons, Grok 4 delivers something rare: clarity. The battle of the benchmarks. Now let's get technical. Benchmarks are the Olympics of AI. They test reasoning, intelligence, and comprehension at the highest level. And Grok 4 isn't just competing, it's destroying. On the ARCAGI benchmark, which simulates complex reasoning tasks, Grok outperformed the previous leader, Claude Opus. Then came the International Math Olympiad benchmark, a nightmare test for most humans and most machines. Grok scored 100%. No AI model before had ever achieved that. Grok 4 is the first. The model runs on 256,000 tokens of context. It means Grok can hold more conversation history, more documents, more code, all at once. The API pricing doubles after 128,000, sure. But if you're building enterprise-level apps or AI tools, that's still a bargain. These scores aren't gimmicks. They're signals that Grok 4 doesn't just memorize, it understands. Real-world tools for real-world problems. So, what exactly can you do with Grok 4 today? The list is long, but a few standout use cases popped up fast. It finds updated documentation, parses it, and delivers step-by-step instructions. It'll synthesize across Reddit, GitHub, Docs, and even YouTube. Grok keeps your goals and context aligned and presents clean, actionable paths forward. One developer called it the best assistant available today. And while tools like Claude or Gemini might still reign supreme in aesthetics or pure writing, Grok stands out in the real-world productivity lane. Voice mode with a twist. Let's not forget the voice. Grok 4's new mobile voice mode is polished. In a direct nod to OpenAI's infamous demo, xAI showed Grok repeating numbers back in a calm, personable voice. But this wasn't just a gimmick, it marked another milestone: conversational fluidity in real time. Grok gives engaged responses, and that's something we haven't quite seen to this level yet. Whether it's a gimmick or a game changer, we'll know soon. What's next? Elon says Grok 4 is just the beginning. Enterprise-grade simulators, real-world breakthroughs, and AGI-level tools are all supposedly coming by late 2025 or early 2026. If that's true, and the trajectory continues, Grok may become more than just a chatbot. It might be the operating system of tomorrow. But at $300 a month? It's not for everyone, yet. No matter how you feel about Elon Musk, this model is no joke. Grok 4 blends reasoning, speed, and power in a way that feels different. Less fluffy, more grounded. It's still raw in some areas, sure. But it's also the most practical assistant you can access right now if you can afford it. So, is this the start of something bigger? Or just another step toward a future we're still not ready for?